Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is FPL Game Week 31 team selection, and I think I'm wild carding in this game week. First, I just wanted to make a note. I know I've been absent. My grandpa passed away a month ago, and so it's been really hard for me. And so I just needed to take the month off of content and just give myself that time and space. But I'm finally feeling like getting back to content again. And so, yeah, that's basically what's been up, why I've been super absent. And I'm excited to do this FPL video with you. We need to get Yelena back in here, but for the time being, it's me. And in this video, I'm going to present my Game Week 30-ish team, or like my current FPL team, and then looking ahead to my strategy, my chip strategy, and then the wildcard team that I'm not 100% set on, but that I'm thinking about wildcarding to. And so I would love your thoughts, your advice. I finally had a pretty big green arrow after like weeks of red arrows. I have just been like super unlucky, but let's see what we're working with here. So first off, let me present my screen, and I'm going to present this one. So this is my current FPL team. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I think that there are a lot of issues in this team at the moment. So the defense is just an absolute mess. Bar Saliba, like Dubrovka, never get anything from him. Poro, I just transferred in. I hadn't gotten anything from him. Pau Torres, I just got my first return from him. I've owned him for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it has been a load of nothing. So I finally got that return from him. But I'm not too happy with his performance. And then if you look at the bench, Doty, I'm not going to be playing him. And then I just have this defender that I had bought, but now I'm feeling like I had bought him as kind of like a cheap option, just a bench warmer, but maybe I do need the depth. I'm pretty happy with my midfield, but obviously the big glaring error, arrow in this team is that I don't have Salah and I don't have Holland, and I got away with one last week, but I don't know how long I can get away with one. And that's a really big talking point. I'm kind of thinking like, is Holland actually worth it for the price point? Because if we go to Holland, for example, you see that he's 14.3 at the moment, but his last returns 2-2, 6-5, 8-2. Like, these I'm not so worried about because you can make it up with other people in your team with what you're like spreading the funds out. And then we'll just go back to my team. So obviously Watkins might potentially be injured, and he has some pretty difficult fixtures coming up. He plays Man City and Arsenal away. So even if he's back, we don't know how fit he's going to be, how much he's going to participate in those games. So that's kind of a flag for me as well. So while I feel like my midfield is pretty good, and maybe the only ones I would be looking at are Foden and Bowen to switch out, the rest of the team is just an absolute mess. So now I'm going to show you kind of like my strategy. So if we take a look at the fixture difficulty rater, my rough strategy was wildcard game week 31. And in my wildcard, I want to try to take advantage of teams that have pretty good fixtures and balance that with teams that are performing well. So Arsenal are looking really good. Liverpool are looking pretty good. Man City, I'm not feeling too hyped about. So I'm trying to balance it with that. And I'm looking to bench boost in 37. And then I'm going to probably free hit. I still have my free hit chip in Game Week 34 to take advantage of all these doubles. So in my wildcard team, I'm not necessarily looking at teams that are going to double because I'll free hit here anyways. And the reason for that is because I looked at a lot of the teams that were free hitting, and they were teams that maybe I don't want to necessarily have those players long haul. So Arsenal, yes, I would, but Bournemouth, the only player realistically, I think at the moment is Solanke that I would have. Crystal Palace, there's nobody really catching my eye. Everton as well, like Brainworth, the defender. Liverpool do double, Sheffield United. I can't see myself having any players from them, and then Wolves. So for that reason, that's why I think I'm going to free hit here and then bench boost in 37. So I was trying to look at teams that have pretty good fixtures coming up. So you have Man United have pretty good fixtures, Man City looking like they have good fixtures, Newcastle, while they haven't been performing as well, have good fixtures coming up. And then you can see like Spurs have really difficult fixtures coming up. They blank in this game week. West Ham look like they have pretty good fixtures coming up. Wolves look like they have good fixtures coming up. So that was basically my thought process for this. So let me show you my current free hit team, and you can tell me what you think about it. So in goal, my goalkeepers were a disaster. Like I had Turner, who doesn't even play, so I really only had one goalkeeper. And so I've put more money into my goalkeepers now with Raya. I like the look of him. I like the fact that Arsenal do have pretty good fixtures. Like they have Luton in game week 31, then Brighton and Aston Villa. And I think that they should do well in those fixtures. And then obviously Wolves and Chelsea. And then in 36, they play Bournemouth at home. So I feel like they have pretty good fixtures. And he has been keeping clean sheets as well. So he's something that I have my eye on. And then Kelleher, I basically have him because he was really cheap. Allison is meant to be out still for a couple of weeks, and so he would be my bench option. And then when Allison comes back, I might be a little bit screwed, but I don't see anything happening to Raya, so I would be, I think, okay. And then if you look at this defense, I've just completely ripped it up, kept Saliba in there because he's been doing well, brought in Ait-Nouri, and he has really, really good potential for attacking returns. You can see he's only 2.8% owned, 4.6 million. And look at these 2 double-digit hauls in the last 5 games. And you're not going to be buying a Wolves asset for the potential of clean sheets, but he is an amazing asset for those attacking returns. So that's why I would be bringing him in. Then I've brought Bradley in as well because Trent is meant to still be out for a couple of game weeks. And he also has the possibility of getting attacking returns at just 8.5% owned, 4.2 price. I thought that he was a good option. And then Braithwaite, honestly, I think he's probably going to be on the bench for me for now. But it does bring a good option because if I'm looking at that game week 37, they play Sheffield United at home, and before that, game week 35, Brentford at home, and then 36, Luton away. So I think that he offers like some pretty good rotation options if I were to play him. So that's why I brought him in, and he was cheap. And then Lascelles I just brought in because he was cheap, and as well, just to bring him in. And then the change I've made here, and this I really don't know how I feel about it. Foden to Salah, I'm happy with that. I'm good with that. Garnacho, I've brought in for Bowen. And the thing is that I've brought in Garnacho basically as a bench warmer. I don't think I'm necessarily going to be starting him, but Man United do have really good fixtures after game week 32. So they have a run of good fixtures. So that would give me some flexibility if I wanted to attack those fixtures. I think that Garnacho does get into those good eras and he could have good attacking returns. But the problem is that I really, really, really like Bowen. And I've had Bowen, if you guys know, like I've had him for so long and I've held on to him and he's really been providing the last couple of game weeks. But the thing is, he's been outperforming his expected goals and expected assists. So if we take a look at game week 30, his expected goals was 0.3 and his expected assist was 0.01, and then he got a goal and an assist. If we look at when he hauled versus Brentford, his expected goals was 0.64. He got 3 goals, and then his expected assist was 0.04, and he didn't get any. So I'm worried that Bowen is outperforming his expected goals and assists, and that he's not going to be able to keep it up. And the thing is, if I have Haaland in this team, which this team can fit Haaland with 0.1 remaining, then I don't have enough money for Bowen. The other option would be to keep Bowen and then replace Haaland with someone. But if I take a look at the forward options, there isn't one that necessarily calls me. Like, I'm not so drawn to Darwin. Liverpool do have good fixtures. He has been getting goals and assists here or there. I'm just like, it's just more of a gut feeling thing because his underlying data is always looking pretty good. But then for FPL, it seems that he's really hit or miss. And so I don't know if I want to get involved on that. And then the only other option, well, maybe Semino could look at him because he actually has been doing really well recently. I've seen a lot of people bring him in. Maybe it's more of an FPL Twitter thing because he's only 3% owned. But he could be a good option, and Bournemouth do have really good fixtures coming up. And then you have Tony, but I don't think that Tony's been doing necessarily as well as I would like for that 8.1 price. You can see he got an assist, and then he had 5 weeks of blanks. And Brentford do have good fixtures coming up as well. Brighton, then they play Aston Villa, then Sheffield, Luton, Everton, Fulham, Bournemouth. So maybe Ivan Toney could be a good option. I'm not 100% like sold on Haaland, to be honest, which is pretty crazy. So I could really go anything there. But yeah, that's basically my thoughts. I think I want to attack and wild card because my defense is so weak. And now is a good time to do it, to try to set up and get some players in. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I really don't know what to do. So that's a tentative plan, but there's definitely some players that I'm just like, oof, I don't know. So maybe I should be risky and not play with Haaland, but I don't necessarily have other positions that I want to upgrade either if I don't have him in my team. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would do. What are you guys planning on doing for Game Week 31? Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you have a great rest of your day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And until next time, I'm out. Bye.